Introducing the all-new Italiano range of pizza. Pizza Ultimo. Pizza Hut.
A very good afternoon to you. This is your lunchtime news bulletin coming to you live on MTV Sports with News First. I'm Shahan Party. Here are your headlines. The Society of Registered and Assistant Medical Officers suspends its strike action. 300 hotels and restaurants in Colombo that do not meet the required standards identified. At least 3 people killed when a container ship rammed a control tower in northern Italy. Now here are the stories in detail. The Society of Registered and Assistant Medical Officers has suspended its strike action following a discussion held with health officials last evening.
The Society of Registered and Assistant Medical Officers commenced the strike action on the 6th of this month. Secretary of the Society, Dr. Mahinda Liyanage, said that following discussions with the Minister of Health and high-ranking health officials, solutions were reached to 50% of the demands made by the Society. Dr. Liyanage noted that therefore the strike action was suspended at 8 this morning. The Secretary of the Society of Registered and Assistant Medical Officers also said that the two parties had agreed to reach solutions to the remaining 50% of the demands. However, Dr. Liyanage said the Society of Registered and Assistant Medical Officers will engage in a work to rule campaign until permanent solutions are provided to their problems.
The Government Radiologists Association has commenced a trade union action based on several demands. Now, its vice chairman of the association, Chanaka Dharma Vikrama, said that accordingly, X-rays will not be conducted for patients receiving treatment at hospital wards.
මුල් කරගෙන ඒයින් ප්‍රධාන ඉල්ලීම් 4ක් තියෙනවා. අපි ඉල්ලා සිටිනවා ඩිප්ලෝමා පාඨමාලාවට තවදුරටත් ශිෂ්‍යයන් බඳවාගෙන.
We are engaging in a trade union action based on several demands, of which there are 4 main demands. We request that students not be enrolled any further for the diploma program and to enroll graduates to the service. Agreements were reached in May 2011 to increase the additional allowance. We face a risk of radiation. Therefore, we also requested for an allowance to compensate that risk. We have decided not to conduct X-rays for patients receiving treatment at hospital wards and the intensive care unit. The Lady Ridgeway Hospital for Women and Children, the De Souza Hospital, the Castle Street Hospital for Women, cancer institutions, the City of Bandaranaike Hospital in Peradeniya will not be affected by the trade union action.
Now, when News First made inquiries regarding the trade union action from the Secretary to the Ministry of Health, Dr. Nihal Jayatilaka, he said that circulars were issued as solutions to certain demands. Now, hence, Dr. Jayatilaka said that there was no need for such a trade union action. Now, moving on to other local news, the Colombo Municipal Council says that it has identified 300 hotels and restaurants in Colombo that do not meet the required standards to be issued with a trade license. Chief Medical Officer of the CMC, Dr. Pradeep Karyosam, reiterates that legal action will be taken against these institutions.
During raids conducted this year, we found 323 institutions that are eligible for trade licenses. However, there are 300 hotels and restaurants that have not obtained the licenses due to numerous reasons. These institutions may have not been approved by the Urban Development Authority or does not meet the necessary standards. Legal action will be taken against these institutions under the Municipal Council Ordinance. We will have to seek legal assistance to obtain an order to close the institution. We will have to take measures to close a number of food outlets that are unsuitable to operate.
Well, the Disaster Management Center says that the number of those affected due to the inclement weather has exceeded 100,000. Meanwhile, the Department of Meteorology says that the inclement weather prevalent in the island could continue.
Residents in Colombo, Gampaha and several other districts were severely affected by the heavy showers. The Disaster Management Center says that over 7,600 displaced persons have been moved to 20 safe locations. Assistant Director of the Disaster Management Center, Pradeep Kodipilli, notes that measures have been taken to provide relief to those affected.
For the moment, the numbers of affected people decreased, especially in Colombo area. So, however, in 22 safe evacuation locations, more than 7,700 people temporarily located, and they have been given relief. People at places, and they have been given relief. The Ministry of Disaster Management released fund to the district secretaries and the Disaster Management Center and the district unit, fully engaging with all the relief processes. We are keeping an eye, and we have arranged, we have standby for the all 25 districts for the upcoming disaster.
Meanwhile, spill gates of several reservoirs have been opened. All spill gates of the Parakrama Samudra in Polonnaruwa were opened by 6 inches each yesterday. 700 cubic feet of water is released per second from the Parakrama Samudra to the Mahavali River. All spill gates of the Veheragala Reservoir in Monaragala have been opened by 6 inches each. Irrigation engineers say that since the water is released to the Manik Ganga, residents living in the surrounding area should be vigilant. The Department of Meteorology states that the Ratnapura district received 89.2 millimeters of rainfall, which is incidentally the highest rainfall recorded in 24-hour period, ending at 8 this morning. Department notes that a low pressure condition has developed in the southeastern region of the island. Duty meteorologist at the Met Department, Jeevan Karunaratna, points out that as a result, the sea off the southeastern coast of the island will be rough.
Showers or thunder showers will be fairly widespread over the island during the afternoon and night. Heavy falls are also likely at some places. Showers or thunder showers can be expected in the western and southern provinces during the morning too. General public is kindly requested to be vigilant about heavy rain, lightning activities and localized strong winds during thunder showers. When we consider the sea areas around the island, a low pressure area has formed to the southeast of Sri Lanka. Occasional showers with thunder showers is expected in the deep sea areas of the southeastern coast. Showers can be expected at several places in other sea areas around the island too. Winds will be southwesterly direction and speed will be 20 to 40 kilometers per hour. The speed may increase up to 50 to 60 kilometers per hour at times in the deep sea areas of the coast extending from Portugal to Galle. So above sea areas will be rough.
Now moving on to other local news, residents of the Pinmanagama area in Variapula engaged in a demonstration last night against a quarry located in the area.
The demonstration began at around 8 last night in the Pinmanagama area in Variapula. The area residents charged that their homes were damaged on several occasions due to the explosions taking place in the quarry. According to our correspondent, the quarry is owned by a former politician in Variapula. The former chairman of the Variapula Provincial Council, Sunil Fernando, arrived at the scene of the protest. Thereafter, police officers of the Variapula Police also arrived at the location and held discussions with the protesters. Our correspondent said the protesters dispersed at around 9:30 p.m. after they were told by the police that necessary measures will be taken to resolve the problem.
Now meanwhile, demonstrations were held in several parts of the island yesterday.
The hunger strike commenced by a group of residents of Galkanda Kandy continued for the second day yesterday. This was in protest against the failure to renovate the Galkanda road and the threat of landslides at the Galkanda primary school. The protesters charged that the responsible officials have not provided permanent solutions to these issues. The area residents who engaged in a march in the city today carried out a demonstration by obstructing the Ankumbura road in Kandy. Non-academic staff of the University of Peradeniya engaged in a demonstration yesterday. The demonstrators carried banners and marched from the Arts Gallery to the Senate building. Furthermore, area residents of Galguluvitiya in Ratnapura commenced a protest yesterday, alleging that the road to their village is yet to be renovated. The protest was also held against the move to remove equipment that was brought to the area to carpet the road via Galguluvitiya to the Digana village.
Well, a media workshop organized by News First is currently underway at the PEDS Kularatna Vidyalaya in Ambalangoda.
The 87th workshop in the series of media workshops conducted by News First is underway at the auditorium of the PDS Kularatna Vidyalaya in Ambalangoda. The News First team that arrived at the school this morning was extended a warm welcome by the principal, students and teachers. The workshop educates children on how to compile and present a news bulletin. Students also gain practical knowledge and experience about the media at the workshop.
Still in local news, a school student died in a motor accident that occurred when 3 motorbikes collided with each other in the Mudukatua area in Maravilla on the Colombo-Chilao main road.
An advanced level student of St. Sebastian's College in Katun area died in the accident which occurred at around 8:30 this morning. Our correspondent said that the student was travelling without a helmet on a motorbike at the time of the accident. 2 motorbikes involved in the accident have been impounded by the police, while the body of the deceased is lying at the Maravilla Base Hospital. Our correspondent said that another motorbike had fled the scene.
Well, now starting off sports with tennis, Roger Federer of Switzerland began the defense of his Madrid Open title with a comfortable 6-3, 6-3 win over Radek Stepanek of the Czech Republic yesterday.
Playing his first match since losing to Rafael Nadal in the quarter-finals of the Indian Wells tournament on the 14th of March, Federer looked as sharp as ever as he secured a 12th victory over Stepanek in 14 meetings. The victory set up a possible third-round clash against friend and compatriot Stanislas Wawrinka. Stepanek produced a late rally to break the Federer serve in the 8th game of the second set, but was broken himself the next game when he sliced a forehand wide. Federer is yet to win a tournament this year, but if he defends his Madrid crown, he will equal John McEnroe's 77 career titles and join the American in 3rd on the all-time ranking behind Jimmy Connors on 109 and Ivan Lendl with 94.
Now moving on to the basketball court, Manu Ginobili buried a 3-pointer from the left wing with 1.2 seconds left in the second overtime as the San Antonio Spurs came from behind to stun visiting Golden State Warriors 129-127.
Especially in the back cuts by the Spurs offensive players. 10 rebounds.
The Spurs trailed by as many as 18 points at one stage and were 16 behind with less than 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter before a furious rally forced overtime. Tony Parker led the way with 28 points, 8 assists and 8 rebounds, and Danny Green knocked down 6 3-pointers en route to 22 points as San Antonio won its 5th straight game to begin the playoffs. Stephen Curry played all 58 minutes and collected 44 points and 11 assists, including the pass that led to Kent Bazemore's go-ahead layup with 3.9 seconds left in the second overtime that gave the Warriors a brief lead. Harrison Barnes added 19 points and 12 rebounds, and Klay Thompson scored 19 before fouling out during the Spurs rally at the end of the fourth. The Warriors led 104-88 late in the fourth when Parker scored 6 straight points and scooped in a transition layup to highlight a 15-0 run that cut the deficit to a single point with 59 seconds to play. Game 2 of the Western Conference semi-finals is in Texas today.
You see on this play at the top of the key, what you don't see is that the man on Ginobili went with the main cutter. No one communicated. Diaw is at the bottom. Ginobili is wide open.
And that ends today's edition of Lunchtime News. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Shahan Jurangpati. Goodbye and take care.